Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Sunday Sweat Club. It really feels like summer here in Mallorca, which means it's hotter. So today's practice might be a little bit slower as my apartment's heating up, but as always, you do you. If you want to add in more chaturangas, more push-ups, if you want to lay on the mat the entire class, please lay on the mat. Listen to your body. This is something we've been talking about a lot in our public classes, as I have people who have injuries they're working around, myself included. And there's no right or wrong way to do yoga, right? Only a way that works for you. So take all the modifications you need, and we will begin in a seat today. Your options for a seat might be on a pillow, might be with your legs out in front of you. I'm going to take a meditation cushion, and I'm working on my ankle. So I'm going to put both feet back, and this feels really good for me. Place your hands somewhere on your body. So either hands on the legs, maybe one hand to the chest, one hand to the belly. Just feel that connection. Get out any wiggles you might need to get comfortable. Shut your eyes. And then take a deep breath in. Exhale gently out the mouth. Close your mouth. And allow your breath to flow freely. Don't try to change it. Just let it be as is. If you notice your mind start to wander, bring it back to how your breath feels today, shallow in your chest. Inhale. Exhale. We'll begin class today with some alternate nostril breathing, Nadi Shodhana. And in order to do that, if you need to take a peek at me, you can. You'll take your pointer finger and your middle finger to the center of your forehead, right between your eyebrows, your thumb to the right side of your nostril, and your ring finger to the left side of your nostril. So the purpose of this breath is really to just align both of our energies, but essentially in a physical way. It's really to just make it so you can breathe out of both nostrils at once, because believe it or not, we typically only use one. So find your position and then let's begin. Take your thumb and press it on the right nostril. And then inhale slowly into your left nostril. Push your diaphragm out. Plug your left nostril. Exhale out your right nostril. Inhale through your right nostril. Plug right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Plug left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Plug right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Plug left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Plug right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Plug left. Exhale right. Inhale right. And then release your hand, bring it somewhere back on your body. Exhale both nostrils, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in, both nostrils. Exhale again, out the nose. Take 5 more cycles of breath. Notice the balance. Maybe a bit more mental clarity. I like to think of it as coming back to equilibrium. One more cycle of breath in and out. Start to cultivate your breath for class. So maybe that is Ujjayi breath, constricting the back of your throat, or maybe just find an even inhale and an even exhale that will carry you through when things get a little challenging, when you need to calm the mind, reduce the heart rate. Breath or pranayama is yoga. You could sit here and just breathe all of class and you're doing it perfectly. One more inhale. And then exhale, depending on the seat you are in, maybe you do this with your eyes closed or eyes open. Make your own journey to tabletop posture, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. And then in tabletop, take your toes together, bring your knees wider, push your butt back, and come to a child's pose. Reach your hands forward, relax the shoulders down to the mat. We'll flow with this movement. Inhale, pull yourself up, maybe round gently through the spine. If you can, drop your belly and roll your shoulders back at the top. And then exhale, push your butt back, round through your spine, tuck your chin, forehead comes down towards the mat. Again, inhale, pull yourself up. Once you get to the top, can you drop your belly, roll your shoulders back? Maybe look high. Exhale, push your butt back, round through the spine, tuck the pelvis, child's pose. So this is our cat-cow variation today. Continue with this. Inhale, coming forward. We start with the rounded spine, then we retract the scapula, dip the belly down, look up. Exhale, round through the low back, and come down to your child's pose. 2 more like this. One more round. Inhale forward, pull yourself up. Retract the scapula, drop the belly, and then exhale back. Child's pose. Inhale, lift yourself up, your actual tabletop, unravel, or I shouldn't say ravel, but untuck the toes. So the toes are in line with the knees in line with hips, arms under the shoulder, our standard cat-cow pose. But instead of going into cat and cow, I just want you to drop your belly, roll your shoulders back, and hold in cow pose. So we typically move through these pretty fast. Close your eyes, zoom into your spine. Notice as you dip your belly down, can you allow that extension essentially to come through from the upper spine as well, while you pull your core in, straight through the arms. Take one more breath. And then exhale, round through the spine, cat pose. Same thing, we'll stay here for a little bit. Can you gaze at your belly button or down towards your pelvis? Push into your palms. Scapula protract or side, down the sides of your body. Breath in. Exhale back to center. Walk your knees together so the knees touch. And then inhale your left hand forward, point in front of you, your thumb is up. It's almost like you're trying to shake someone's hand, right? Then extend the right leg back, toe on the ground. So option one is just to hold here and think about pulling the belly in as you reach the arm, right? Our spine is long and extending rather than dipping. So stay here, maybe push into the right heel. Once you're like, yeah, Madison, this feels great, you can lean forward and maybe lift that right foot off the mat, but still think about tucking the belly and the pelvis in to take the bend out of the low back. Breath in and out. If you can and your arm is starting to slip, pull it up towards your ear, ideally bicep in line with the ear for another cycle of breath. And then exhale, release the left hand down, right knee down next to left. Opposite side, inhale, right hand forward, reach. Exhale, left foot back. So you can start here, finding the extension of the arm as you try to reach forward as much as you can, and then lift the back leg up if that feels comfortable. But once more, think about pulling the belly in and tucking the pelvis. Breath in. Remember, if you wiggle and wobble, that's good. We're getting new muscle. Breath out. Again, inhale. Exhale. One more breath in here. Exhale, right hand down, left knee down. Walk your hands back towards your knees, curl your toe under, and come to broken toe pose. So another option is just to take a seat in the heels or even stay up here with the toes curled under. But if you can bring that butt anywhere towards the heels, I want you to just sit heavy as we open the feet. You'll need open feet today, right? So push the toes down into the mat as you sit in this posture. If you need to come out, come back in. Hands come somewhere on the body, and then take 3 of your slowest breaths. 2 slow breaths. 1 slow breath. Exhale, come forward, untuck the toes, tap the feet out on the floor if you need to. Then walk your hands 1 handprint forward, curl your toes under, push up and back, downward facing dog. So a reminder for down dog, you can have your knees as bent as you like. Think about reaching your chest towards your thighs, and then when you get that extension, sink the heels down to the ground. Downward dog is often the least favorite posture of a lot of people when they first start yoga, because it's hard to get the strength in the upper body, but also to find the correct alignment where you can kind of feel supported. So take 3 more breaths, maybe moving, maybe staying still. And then once you've taken your 3rd breath, bend into your knees. Look forward and try to walk 1 toe print at a time. Maybe you're just on your big toe to the top of the mat. Make your way very slowly into Uttanasana and fold forward. Head is heavy. Inhale, halfway lift, slide your hands up your shins, and then exhale, fold. Again, inhale, halfway lift. Think about making, if it's hard, try to think about making your chest parallel with the ground, and then exhale, fold, a nice little T shape. Last time, inhale up, halfway lift, sit your butt back, and then come through a chair pose. So reach your hands high, and we'll come to standing. 3, 2, 1. Hands by your sides, Tadasana. Close your eyes. Bring 1 hand to your chest, 1 hand to your belly. Today's class will be about one thing, the breath. I'm going to encourage you to pay attention to your breath, because our breath can do so much for us. So whenever you feel your mind start to wander, we'll come back to the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, sweep your hands up, look up. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step both feet back, and come to either plank or tabletop. Maybe we want to start with a tabletop pose, and then lower really slow. 3, 2, 1. Untuck your toes, inhale up, baby cobra. Lift the hands, squeeze the elbows together. And then exhale, stay here. So our breath will make us stronger. Inhale, lift higher. Exhale, stay here. Again, inhale, lift up. Press the tops of your feet into the mat. Exhale, stay. You can do one more. I know you can. One more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower down, forehead to the mat. Breath in. And out. Curl your toes under, hug your elbows in. Push up with control to either tabletop or plank. And then up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, one toe at a time. But stay with the breath. Walk yourself to the top of the mat, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, butt back, arms wide. Push yourself all the way up to standing. Look high. And then we'll flow right back down. Exhale, hands through heart center, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, take a big generous bend in your knees. Plant your hands, shift your weight over into your right leg and step your left foot back. So get about as far back on the mat as you can. Really start to sink yourself down. If that's hard, you can do 1, 2, 3 steps and then bring the back knee down to the mat. Once you're there, wiggle your right foot out to the side, hands come to the inside of the foot. So we're in a lizard lunge, which I gotta be honest, this is like my favorite thing right now. I don't know why, I'm super into this lunge. I think it's because of this hip flexor. So this is our focus with our breath. Inhale. Exhale, try to relax the hip flexor. Really, maybe close your eyes, think about it. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Where can you release? Again, inhale, mind-body connection. Exhale, relax the hip flexor. Curl your toes under. Inhale, lift up. Low lunge. Now we'll use the breath to strengthen. Inhale, pull your left hip forward, your right hip backwards. Exhale, push your left hip flexor down. Again, inhale here. Exhale, push down, pull that left hip forwards, right hip back. Again, inhale, push down. Exhale, left hip forwards, right hip back. Release the knee down to the ground, untuck the toe, and then inhale, reach your right hand high, look up. Close your eyes. Exhale, tell your left hip flexor to relax. So we strengthen and soften. Inhale, reach. Exhale, relax. One more time. Inhale, reach. Exhale, relax, and then bring your right hand to the inside of your right knee. So I'm going to spin around so you can see me a bit better. Hand comes to the inside of the right knee. Option 1 is to stay here and just sink. Option 2, roll onto the outer edge of the right foot and start to twist a little bit. You can push your right hand into your right knee. Keep squeezing your scapula down and back though. Instead of the shoulder to the ear, you might look over the right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale, push your right knee into your right hand. So even though it's out and we're rolling onto the outer edge, can you push? Breath in. Exhale, push. Right knee into right hand. One more time. Inhale. Exhale, push. Right knee into right hand, firing up all those muscles in the inside of the groin. And then inhale, reach your hand high, untwist your body. Exhale, right hand comes to the inside of the foot. So option 1, you might just step up to Uttanasana at the top of the mat. Option 2, lift the back knee off the mat and then try to float as you bend one foot to the sky, and then exhale, step, Uttanasana. Your right hand's gonna be on the outside of your right hand, or your right foot. Replace those and bring your feet together. Toes touch, sliver space between your heels and fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, sit your butt back, take your arms wide, push yourself up to standing, look high. Exhale, hands to heart center. And then hands by your side, Siddhasana. Bring your awareness to one side of your body versus the other. We've done one hip, but not the other. Do you feel imbalanced? Maybe it's a bit like before we did that alternate nostril breathing. Breath in. And out. Inhale, sweep the hands high, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, bend, bend, bend your knee, and then step your right foot back. Lower the back knee down and come to your lunge. Wiggle the left foot out to the side. We start with just the surrender. Shut your eyes down. Breath in. Exhale, relax the right hip flexor. Close your eyes. See if you can just tell it to turn off. Inhale. Exhale, relax. Again, inhale. Where are you clenching in the leg? Exhale, relax. Breath in, push into your hands. Curl your back toe under, lift your back knee up. Now inhale, pull your left hip backwards, your right hip forwards. Exhale, push your right hip down. Inhale, push the hip down. And then exhale, left hip back, right hip forwards. Inhale, push the right hip down. Exhale, right hip back, left hip forwards. Breath in. Exhale, release the knee down, untuck the toe, and then we twist open to the left side, reach high. So in this twist, we soften after we've strengthened. So breath in. Exhale, right hip flexor surrenders. Keep reaching through your left hand. Inhale. Exhale, surrender, relax. One more time, breath in. And then exhale, bring your left hand to the outside of the knee and roll onto the outer edge of the foot. If you've got any ankle problems, don't roll. Maybe you just stay on the foot, but try to open through the hip. Think about rolling your left shoulder back, maybe gaze to the back of the room. And then take a breath in. Keep sinking into the right hip flexor. Push your left knee into your left hand. So it's almost like a little tug of war, right? Breath in, relax on the right side. But then exhale, push, knee to hand. One more inhale. Exhale, push, knee to hand. You got it. Ooh. And then inhale back to center. Reach the hand up. Exhale, sweep it down, front of the mat. Now, option one, you can make your way to Uttanasana any way you like. There are no rules. Option two, curl the back knee under, start to wiggle yourself forward, and then maybe you can lift one leg up and step into Uttanasana. Your hand will be in the way. So move your hand and then bring your big toes to touch, sliver of space between your heels. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, butt back, arms wide, push yourself up to standing, look high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Hands out in front of you and just give your wrists a shake. That was a lot of work on the wrists. It's so funny because sometimes we're like, fast classes are harder. For me, sitting is really hard. So give yourself a little grace if that was challenging for you. And then we'll move into our next sequence. Inhale, sweep your hands up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, sit back, chair pose, bring your biceps by your ears. Breath in. Exhale, sit deeper, breath out. So we use our breath to strengthen here. Inhale, hug your knees into the midline. Exhale, stay. Inhale, squeeze the legs. Exhale, stay. One more, breath in. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step yourself back to either plank or tabletop, and we'll lower nice and slow. 3, 2, and 1. Untuck the toes, inhale, back bend of your choice. So maybe you'd like full cobra, up dog, find something that feels good. Exhale, lower. Curl your toes under. Push yourself up and back, downward facing dog. Walk your feet together today, so big toes are pretty close, rather than your feet in your standard down dog. For this part of the sequence, I'd like you to be a little closer. See how that alignment changes things for you? You might feel more sturdy, less sturdy, no right or wrong answer. And then inhale, lift your right leg high, point the toe, pull the left hip back in space to close the hip. Keep pushing into the hands. Breath in. And out. Sink the left heel down, breath in. And out. One more time, inhale. And then as you exhale, bring your right knee towards your right tricep. Option to skip this. You can just squeeze it into the stomach. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee, left tricep. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to forehead. Try to touch the knee to forehead. Lean your shoulders past your wrists and then step through. Low lunge. Inhale up, crescent pose. So your hip flexors should feel nice and warmed up at this point. Bring your hands to your hips. Feel. If one hip is further forward than the other, pull it in line. So for me, it's always going to be the right hip needs to shift back, right? Pull that right hip backwards and then sink down into the knee. So ideally, we're working on a 90-degree-ish bend in the front, and you might be like, Madison, no way, that's totally fine. Straighten through your back leg. Inhale, sweep your hands high, palms face each other. Exhale, stay. Inhale. Exhale. If this is easy for you, try pulling your feet together as you take a breath in. And then exhale, widen into warrior two. Hips are nice and wide now. Let's take our hands to the inside of our legs. So one hand to the left thigh, one hand to the right knee. And think about pushing your chest forward a little bit. Once the hand is in the knee, push the knee into the hand. Your leg, same thing on that left side, leg into the hand. Breath in. And out. The more you push, the more you're going to shake. I don't know why I feel like I always have to go hard with you guys. Like I'm trying to talk and push. I'm doing it with you. Breath in. Shaking like crazy. Let's sink it lower. Yeah, we can do it. Breath out. One more. Inhale here. Exhale, warrior two. Release the hands. Inhale, straighten the leg. Say hallelujah. Shorten the stance a little bit. Bump your back hip to the back of the room. Tick-tock forward, triangle pose. So if you've got blocks at home, it might be nice to have a block down here that you can put your hand in. If this is a challenging posture for you, you could be up here. Slide your hand down your leg. Find a point that works for you. Ultimately, we want to think about twisting the chest open to the left as the hand comes to the inside of the ankle or the foot somewhere in here, maybe the big toe, and you're leaning as you open. Breath in. And out, look up at your left thumb. Inhale. Exhale, try to stick your breath with me. One more, breath in. Exhale, bend into your front knee, widen the stance. Inhale up, warrior two. Exhale, sweep the hands down, frame the foot. Lift the back heel off the mat, pushing around through your spine. Try to lift the foot first and then step back, downward facing dog. Breath in. And out. Walk the feet together, just like we did before. So big toes are pretty close, liver space between the heels, and then inhale, lift the left leg up. Pull the right hip back in space to close the hip. Push your hands into the mat away from you. Breath in. And out. Another breath in. and out. Last time, inhale. And then exhale, left knee, left tricep. Maybe just bring it in towards the chest. Inhale, left leg high. Keep the hip closed as you do this. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, knee to forehead. Touch the knee to the forehead. Lean your shoulders past your wrists and then try to step through a low lunge. Inhale up, crescent pose. Exhale, hands come straight to the hips. So find the hands on the hips. Don't fall over like me. And then pull the left hip back in space as you sink down. If you notice your knees going past the ankle, that's fine, nothing's gonna happen. But if you step a little wider, you can find the alignment of the 90-degree bend while we work on hip extension in the right leg, right? You should feel this in this right hip flexor, extending back. Inhale, reach your hands high. Exhale, stay. Option to try to pull the feet towards one another. Inhale. Exhale. Another breath in. Exhale, spin the back heel down, widen, warrior two. Oh yeah. Okay, so we think about external rotation of the legs. You might need to step it a bit wider. Once more, the goal is, I know we don't want to do it, but the goal is close to a 90-degree bend in the leg. It's terrible. Can confirm, a lot of work. Place your left hand inside of your left thigh, right hand on your right thigh. And then think about pulling the chest through as you push left hand into the left knee, right hand into the left thigh. I'm shaking like crazy. I'm out of breath. So you should push too. So we do this together. Here we go, team. Breath in. Your breath is your vehicle. Exhale, making you stronger. Another inhale. Exhale. You got this. Breath in. Stay low. Exhale, reach your hands long, warrior two. And then inhale, straighten that front leg. Oh my gosh, that feels so good. Does it not? Close the stance a little. Push your right hip to the back of the room. Left hand comes forward. Tick tock, reach. And then come to your extended side angle, or your triangle pose, sorry, not extended side angle. Roll your right shoulder back. Look up at your right hand if you can. Option to have a block here to balance the hand on. Option to grab for the big toe as you reach up. Just think about opening through the side body because it's easy to fall down here. So really think about rolling up. Push the feet away from each other. Breath in. And out. Another breath in. And out. Last time. Inhale. You got this. Exhale, bend into the front knee. Slide your back foot backwards a little. And then inhale up, warrior two. Exhale, sweep the hands down. Frame the foot. The back heel comes off the mat. Push and lift yourself up and back. Downward facing dog. Breath in. And out. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk one toe at a time or hop if you're really craving it. It's fine. Top of the mat, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, butt back, arms wide. Push yourself up to standing. Look high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Breath in. Exhale, Tadasana. Inhale, sweep the hands up. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Shift your weight over into your left leg. Draw your right leg up to a 90-degree bend. So today, doing a lot with hip extension. There's going to be a ton of this. So instead of working on drawing the knee up, I'm going to ask you to start to push your knee backwards. So knee comes from a 90-degree bend, and then try to bring your right foot towards your butt as you try to push your right knee past your left knee. Tuck your pelvis while you do this. It's going to be really hard. Essentially, you might be here, you might be here, you might be here. Think about pushing the knee back while you lift the foot up. Your hamstring might cramp, and that's really fine. That means you're doing it right. Breath in. Breath out. Squeeze the foot towards the butt more. Another breath in. Push the knee back and out. One more time. Inhale. And now exhale, draw your knee up gently. Exhale, point your toe forward and hold. Squeeze, squeeze, breath in. We can do this for 3 breaths. I know. Breath out. My leg's gonna slowly drop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, stay. One more time. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release. Both feet together. Tadasana. Hands by your sides. Close your eyes. Inhale, breath to calm. Exhale, slow your heart. Again, inhale, where can you relax? Exhale. One more time. Breath in. And out. Bring your hands to your hips. Inhale. Shift your weight over into your right leg. Draw your left knee up, 90-degree bend. But instead of working on flexing up, we're going to bend and then push your left knee past your right knee. So it's going to be really hard to do without involving your butt and your low back. So maybe you even try to tuck, like think about bringing a hand to the low back, tuck the pelvis under, lift your left heel towards your butt. This is really hard. Immediately my hamstring always wants to cramp. That's fine, normal. Try to keep pushing the knee past your opposite knee. And it might not go, that's fine. All we're doing is thinking about engaging foot to butt, push knee back. Breath in. And out. Again, breath in. You've got this, strong. And out. Last time, inhale. Here's the fun part. Exhale, bring your knee forward. Hands to the hips, extend and point. Inhale. Exhale, stay. Inhale, lift. Exhale, stay. One more. Inhale, lift. Oh my gosh. Exhale. Feet together. Hands by your sides. Tadasana. Close your eyes. Breath in. Exhale. Slow down. Again. Breath in. Exhale. Slow down. Last time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, sweep your hands up, look up. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step yourself back. Option to always skip this and just come to a child's pose or down dog. Otherwise, come with me. 3, 2, and 1 to your belly. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Exhale, lower. Curl your toes under. Maybe try to lift the thighs first if you're coming to plank. And then we push up, strong arms. Exhale back, downward facing dog. Breath in. And out. Inhale your right leg high, point your toe, pull your left hip back in space. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee to the left tricep. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to forehead. Listen to me very carefully. As you exhale, lower your right knee down to the ground with your foot pointing under your pelvis. So we're setting up for not pigeon pose. We're not going there yet. We're actually doing a little surprise mobility work. I know you're so stoked. So there's gonna be a couple different variations to set up for this. If you want it to be harder, you're going to push your butt back and lean forward. So the more you push your butt back so your heel is kind of in your groin, the harder it will be. If you want it to be easier, you're going to rock your weight forward and you might even be here on your elbows, right? This is too easy for me. We're going to be lifting the foot up off the ground. So maybe like take a few trial runs. The goal is for it to barely lift, if any. So for me, like midway, untuck the toe. Yeah, that's about right. If I want it to be really hard, I'll do it for you guys. I'm going to push it all the way back. It's going to be a lot of work. So sink down, find your version of the posture. First, think about pushing the left hip flexor down into the ground. All we're going to do in this position is work in this new range of motion and try to strengthen a little bit. So we're working in our end range, right? Bring your hands together, create a fist. I feel like squeezing my hands really helps me maybe get angry at Madison or get angry at whoever you want to get at while we do this. Now, take a breath in. Push your right knee down into the ground. And then inhale, try to lift your left foot up to hover. Try to lift it. It's not going to lift. This is so bad. Hold, try and lift. It's barely moving. I know. You can do it. Try and lift. 3, 2, and 1. Exhale. Relax. We're going to do that 2 more times. That's it, right? Easy peasy. Like I said, if you are here and you're like, Madison, I could do this all day, you're not doing it. Come back. Make it really hard. If you look at me, I barely look like I'm moving, right? But it's so much work. Ready? Round 2. Take a breath in. Push your right knee down into the ground, and then try to lift that left leg. Hover. Hover, but don't lift the left hip like I did because I tried to cheat. Don't lift it. Hover. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Great work. Good job. Okay, one more. We can do it. Breath in. And out. Push your right knee into the ground, and then inhale. Keep the left hip down, but try to lift that left leg. It's not going to lift, but I want it to, right? We're working on our hip extension, our leg extending past our hips. Hold and squeeze, your butt might cramp. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Hands come down. Inhale, push yourself up. Curl your back toe under. And then lift yourself up. Lift your right knee off the ground. Up and back, downward facing dog. That's one side. Breath in. And out. Like it never happened. Inhale, left leg high. Pull your right hip back in space. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale, right leg high, hip stays closed. Exhale, right knee, left tricep. Inhale, right leg high, reach. Exhale, knee to forehead, lean. And then we drop that left knee down to the ground and set up for round 2. It's going to be faster this time. So push your butt back towards your heel, untuck your toe. Remember, if you're here, harder. If you're here, it should be just as hard, right? But it's just more attainable. If you're up here, that's not what we're doing today. So come back down. Here we go. You're a pro at this already. Ready? Breath in. As you exhale, push the right knee down, try to lift the left leg up. Okay, so on this side, I can't even do it. Like, it's not even happening, but I'm gonna keep trying. I'm gonna squeeze. It feels like nothing, but I'm doing my best. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Great. If you're like me and you're like, it's not moving, that's okay. That means this is where we really need to work, right? Breath in. Push your right knee down into the ground. Inhale, try to lift that left foot, or right foot up. We're lifting the right foot. Try to lift. 3. You're almost there. You are. 2, and 1. Release. Yep. One more time. Breath in. And out. No time like the present. Inhale. Left knee goes into the ground. And right. Lift and brace through the breath. Try to lift that right leg. Hold. Keep trying to lift. It doesn't matter. You should be making 5 million faces and they all should look really weird. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Hands come by your sides. Push yourself up. Curl your back toe under. Push into the hands, lift the knee up, and push back, downward facing dog. So you might be like, Madison, what was that and why did we even do it? The goal, we do lots of stretching to get deep into our passive range, right? But if we don't strengthen or we don't train our end range, we're not going to be able to move. You can't move where you can't move, right? So all this work, it's going to give you more movement, obviously. Inhale forward, plank pose. Let's take it down together. 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Maybe you're going for a sphinx briefly. That's what I want right now. Exhale, lower down. Curl your toes under, hug your elbows in. Push yourself up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, walk yourself or hop to the top of the mat, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, butt back, chair pose, but I'm not even going to keep you here because that would be cruel. Exhale, come to standing. Hands by your sides, Tadasana. Okay, inhale, bring the hands to the hips. Walk to the top of the mat if you're not already there. We are working on the mother of all hip extensions, which is in Warrior 3. So today in Warrior 3, we're going to move in very gracefully and then step back to crescent, just so you're already mentally thinking about it in your head. Essentially, we'll start with the right leg, hip extension the whole way. So inhale your right knee up, our 90-degree bend, and then just like we did before, exhale, but don't start to lean yet. I want you to push your right knee past your left knee. Squeeze your foot up towards your butt. Try to push, try to push, try to push. Keep tucking the pelvis. Then start to extend. Lean the chest forward, straighten the leg back, but keep thinking about tucking the pelvis as you extend. Once you make this T, chest is parallel-ish with the ground, the foot is back, you can hold and balance. Maybe reach your hands above your head. I'm not going to because I'm going to hit something or maybe fall over. I'm not sure what's going to happen, to be honest. Find a version that works here for you, and then we hold and balance. Our breath helps us balance. If you come out, come back in. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. You got this. Exhale, bend into your left knee and then step yourself back, crescent pose. Yes, sink down. Inhale your hands high. We're going to be here very briefly. Exhale, widen warrior two. Inhale, straighten your front leg, bump your back hip backwards, maybe narrow the feet and come to Trikonasana, triangle pose. Reach up, look up. Stay here for one breath in. And then exhale, bend in the knee, widen the feet, come up, warrior two. Inhale, stay. Exhale, sweep the hands, frame the foot. Lift the back heel up off the mat, push up and back, downward facing dog. Breath in. And out. Inhale your right leg high, point your toe, left hip back in space. Exhale, right knee, right tricep. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, right knee, left tricep. Inhale, right leg high. Exhale, knee to forehead, but then externally rotate your thigh and drop your knee behind your right wrist. We're coming to our pigeon pose. Yes, so you are way warmed up for this. If we think about pigeon, primarily it works a lot on our hip extension if we stay up. So today, rather than folding, we're going to think about staying up as you pull your right hip back, your left hip flexor forward. It's almost as if you might be able to see the difference in my body. This is like, I'm kind of sinking, chilling. It's a huge back bend for me because my hip extension is rough. Maybe I can pull, right? No hands, pull the right hip back, left knee forward, and we're hovering. Your pelvis should be nowhere near the ground. Hands can come high like we're reaching up to the sky. Breath in. And out. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze in. Breath in. And out. One more time. Inhale. And then because I love you, exhale, sink your hips down. Hands can come to the ground. Sleeping pigeon fold. Head can come down to the mat. If you like, you can try to work your right shin up a little bit more further forward than you did in that posture, but you don't need to because it's not all about having your shin parallel with the top of the mat. It's about what feels good and enjoyable for you. We'll take 3 breaths here. To surrender, our breath to surrender. Inhale. Exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale. One more time. Breath in. Exhale. Hands come by your sides, just like we did before in that weird workout I made you do, the mobility thing. Curl your back toe under. Push into your hips. Try to lift your knee up first and then up and back, downward facing dog. Breath in. And out. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, step or hop top of the mat, Uttanasana fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, butt back, arms wide. Push yourself up to standing, look high. Exhale, hands to heart center, hands by your side, Tadasana. We have one more side. How crazy is that? That was only one side. Hands to your hips, shift your weight over into your right leg. Left knee comes up, 90-degree bend. Breath in. Exhale, left knee comes back. And then try to push. First, we start with like, okay, pelvis is tucked. How far back can I push the knee, the left knee past the right knee, while I squeeze my foot up to my butt and try to make my hamstring cramp? Because what? Obviously, right? Obviously. Breath in. Exhale. Now you can start to lean your chest forward as you extend the leg backward, point the toe. Pull your right hip back in space and drop your left hip down. Option to extend your hands out in front of you. Keep the hands on the hips. We are here for 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. You are strong. If you come out, come back in. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Breath in. Exhale, bend into your right knee as much as you can, and then step back, crescent pose. Inhale those hands high. Remember, this is just a brief little party. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale, straighten your front leg, narrow the feet, bump your hip to the back of the room, and then tick-tock forward, Trikonasana triangle. Maybe look up for a full cycle of breath, in and out. On your next breath in, bend into your front knee, wiggle your back foot back, come up, warrior 2. Exhale, stay. Inhale. Exhale, sweep the hands down, frame the foot, lift the back heel up off the mat, push up and back, downward facing dog. Home stretch, team. Inhale your left leg high. Exhale, left knee, left tricep. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, left knee, right tricep. Inhale, left leg high. Exhale, bring your knee to your forehead, round, and then scoop the knee over to the back of the left hand and prep for your pigeon pose. So in this posture, I've got a little bit of a limitation on my left ankle. So I'm not going to squeeze and lift, but just because I'm not doing it doesn't mean that you shouldn't do it. I'm going to support myself with my hands, which is always an option here. If you can, try pulling your right hip flexor forward, your left hip back, and then think about hovering. Your hip should hover off the mat. You're squeezing so much. So right hip forward, left hip flexor, or right hip back. No. See, I confused myself. Left hip back. Yes. Right hip flexor forward. There we go. We're on the team. Left back, right forward. Now maybe lift your hands up to the ceiling and think that you're going to float as you squeeze. Your pelvis should be off the ground. Breath in. And out. Another breath in. And out. You got this. Don't give up. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Fantastic work. Release down, and then you can fold into your sleeping pigeon. Let your head be forward. Sink down into that right hip flexor. Surrender. 3 breaths to come back to equilibrium. Breath in. And out. Another breath in. And out. Last time, inhale. Exhale. On your inhale, lift yourself up. Hands come by your sides. Curl your back toe under. We transition out the same way we came in. Push round through the spine. Lift the leg. And then up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, and exhale, bend your knees, come to a tabletop pose. We're going to make our way down to a seat. You have 2 options. Option 1, come to a seat. Option 2, try to do it without any hands. So for me, I like to lean back, bring my butt towards my heels. No hands, right? And then I'm going to shimmy. We're moving to a wide-legged forward fold. So sit your butt back somehow, reach the legs out. Don't worry if you got to use your hands. Not a problem. We're working on it. We're getting there one day. Inhale your hands high. Exhale, fold. A few options. Option 1, round through the spine. Option 2, think about pulling the chest forward and lengthen the spine rather than rounding, reaching the hands, relaxing the head. Your choice. Once you're there, shut your eyes down. And we've got 3 breaths in and out. If it feels good, you can add in any movement, breath in and out. One more time, inhale, exhale. On your next breath in, maybe hands or no hands, push yourself up to a tall seat. Zip your legs together, turn so your feet are at the top of your mat if you haven't already. And then let's take staff pose very briefly. So hands by your sides, squeeze your shoulder blades together, tuck your chin down, and like you're trying to look at your belly button, pull your belly button in and up, flex your feet, and we just fold here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more breath in. And then exhale. Relax. Reach your hands forward. Start to Pilates roll down. Pull the belly button in as you round through the spine, wiggling yourself back little by little. Try to keep your heels on the ground as you do this until eventually you start to lower your back onto the mat. And then reach the hands above the head. Take a big morning stretch. Inhale. Point your toes. Exhale out the mouth. Feels good to be laying down. Yeah, I agree. Okay. Hands come out to a T. Push your palms down into the ground. Push your low back down to the mat. And then inhale. One knee or both knees, you might do one at a time, up into the chest. But then stop them at 90 degrees. So knees in line with hips. Knees in line with ankles. Flex your feet. Take one more breath in here. And then exhale over to the right side. Drop the knees down, gaze to the left. Easy twist. Ideally, your left shoulder stays on the ground. I care less about your knees connecting than I do about the shoulder staying on the ground. If you have any pinching in the neck, just stay gazing up to the ceiling. Inhale. Surrender as you exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, push your hands down into the mat. Lift your knees up to center with control, and then exhale, take them over to the opposite side. You may need to readjust a little, bump that hip under, reconnect the right shoulder, maybe gaze over to the right. And then we start with our breath again. Inhale fully. Exhale to surrender. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, push your hands down into the mat, come back up to center. If there's anything else you would like to do for your practice, by all means, please take it now. Maybe you want a little bit of a happy baby before we come down to the ground. Option to go into a plow or a shoulder stand if you feel ready for that, and that seems nurturing to you. Those of you who are watching the replay, you can feel free to pause, and if you wanted to add in anything, you could add in a 20-minute flow if you're crazy. We have about another minute, so move freely. A reminder that movement doesn't need to be a yoga pose. It can just be, what does my body want? But try to stick with your breath for these last few seconds of our asana practice.
About 15 or so more seconds. So if you're doing double-sided work, try to move into that and then finish up. And then once you're ready, extend your feet out long, toes fall out, hands up. Maybe you can shimmy the shoulder blades together, lift your spine up a little. Gently tuck your chin so the back of your neck is long. Inhale. And then open mouth exhale, let it go. Close your mouth. And let go of any breathing pattern you had for class. Might remember in the beginning of class, I asked you to just observe your breath as it was. Allow it to return to that breathing pattern. Let your body get heavy. And then make your way into Shavasana. If you would like to stay in Shavasana, please just shut me off. Drift back to sleep. Remain here for as long as you like. But if you're ready to transition out of the practice, you can start with just small movements in your fingers and in your toes. Rock your head side to side. Open your mouth. Wiggle your jaw and wrinkle your nose. And then you can allow those movements to get bigger and draw one knee in towards the chest and then the other. And roll over onto your favorite side using your arm as a pillow in fetal pose. Press yourself up to a comfortable seat, facing any direction. And then once you're there, bring one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. And for the last time this class, just gently observe your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Option to bring two hands over the heart or maybe palms together at heart center. Put a little smile on your face. Blink your eyes open. Get used to the room and the world around you. Thank you guys. Fantastic work. Happy Sunday. If you have any questions, by all means, please reach out and let me know. I'm happy to chat about yoga forever. Otherwise, I will see you next week at the Sunday Sweat Club. Talk soon. Bye.
Thank you so much, Madison.